Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode from the Krebsko channel. Hope you're all having a very wonderful day today. If not, I hope you had a wonderful day. And if you didn't have a wonderful day, well, hopefully I can relax some of that tension you might have and entertain you through a cast of your most favorite game. That would be Company of Heroes. Why not? I mean, Company of Heroes is one of my most favorite games. Actually, the most favorite game of all time for me. And I actually love doing that in my spare time as well. If I'm in the mood, I'll go watch a cast or something like that. And I find it really relaxes me. And it's sort of nice. It's like watching TV, but of something you really enjoy. I mean, you're guaranteed to enjoy whatever it is, right? So that's what I like doing, so welcome to the show, right? The Krebsko channel. Anyway, so we're going to be doing a 1v1 on this map. Quick 360 panoramic view so you guys can guess what it is. What could it be? Could it be Stursdorf? Could it be Angleville? Could it be Longra? No, it's Wreck Train. Haha, why not? Okay, so it's Wreck Train that we're doing today. We don't usually do this on this channel. In fact, this game is quite, or this map is quite unpopular, but I'll actually get onto that in a wee jiffy in a few moments about tactical analysis of this map and tell you guys why a lot of people don't like playing it. But anyway, let's get this game started. We're at the 5-second mark, and we're going to be starting in 3 seconds for all of you who are watching replays at this time. So in 3 seconds, right, in 3, 2, 1, and begin. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And on we go to another very exciting matchup in the Company of Heroes battlefield. Alright, so today we're going to be having a entertaining game for all of you to enjoy. I'm going to feel a little bit sorry for the newbies out here because, well, I'll get onto that in just a second. We're going to be taking a look at a Wehrmacht player in the northern corner, which goes by the name of BodhiDharma as the Wehrmacht, obviously. And BodhiDharma is actually quite an interesting character because if you guys watched my last cast, the 100th episode, I actually done a cast of somebody who went by the name of Lestendarte. He was in that game. Now, Lestendarte and BodhiDharma sort of have a relationship between each other. BodhiDharma, as you guys might know, if you're more experienced in this game, is better known as Kodachrome, alright? So, Kodachrome and Lestendarte, I don't know what the exact relationship is, but maybe they're brothers, maybe they're friends. Well, hopefully, I think they're friends, I'd imagine anyway, but whatever they have against each other, whenever they play games against each other, they always produce something comical in a way. It's very funny to actually watch the standards of play. I've actually done a game of BodhiDharma before, and you know, I was left speechless multiple times in that game, just because, not because it was so noobish, but because it was so unconventional, because it was such an unusual playstyle, and a lot of the things you couldn't agree with, but somehow it still worked. That's the amazing part about it. Somehow it still worked. So he's going to be definitely an interesting character to watch. Now, BodhiDharma is actually a level 14 Wehrmacht player at the moment, so he's quite highly ranked. Now, I'll get onto that in seconds. Now, his opponent in the southern corner of Wreck Train is IronRoman as the Brit. Alright, so there we go. That is the two players we're showing today. IronRoman is a level 16 as a Brit player in 1v1. So both these players are very experienced indeed. The thing I was going to say with newbies in this game, and veterans and co will definitely enjoy this for entertainment, but newbies, you know, I think it might be a good idea to actually put down your notepads and not take notes of this game, because I think you should enjoy it rather for the entertainment. Kodachrome really has an unusual playstyle. A lot of times I cannot recommend his play, but it still somehow works, okay? I think if you can actually master all the factions in Company of Heroes or master his faction, then you can start thinking about playing creatively. There we go. So, let's get on to some strategy at hand. Now, we've got the Brit who's actually produced a few things. He's actually produced a lieutenant and a infantry section and then gone for a headquarters command truck. An unusual sort of thing to be doing because most people go for a lieutenant first, then pack up their HQ and place it down somewhere. That extra infantry section could be useful on a map like Wreck Train. Now, since we're talking about Wreck Train, let's head on over to that. Everybody's capping, just a few men here and there. So, over onto Wreck Train. This is the tactical map for it. Kind of an interesting map. A lot of people, the reason they don't like it is because they believe it's Wehrmacht favored. Alright? So say if you had a matchup between Americans and Wehrmacht. Americans prefer having an open map, and the reason I say that is because they usually go for a barrack start. It's very unlikely that Americans go for a WSC as their first building. They usually go for a barracks because they can be most mobile then. It's most flexible, right? The unfortunate thing about going for barracks is that you can't produce snipers and MGs like you can from the Wehrmacht quarters for the Wehrmacht. And so, just for that reason alone, since the Wehrmacht can produce snipers and MGs before an American usually can, they can lock down areas of high defensive cover. And that makes sense in a map like Wrecked Train, where you have a crap load of defensive cover. Look at this. Tons and tons and tons right across the middle, where the middle is extremely important. I'll just get onto why it's important in just a second. Man, there's so much to explain, and I have so little time to explain it, but I will get onto it, guys. So there's tons of cover for the Wehrmacht to actually put their MGs, for example, and that makes it a very difficult time for the riflemen to actually circumnavigate around this cover and flank them. So that's why a lot of people actually consider Wrecked Train to be a more Wehrmacht favored map. Whether that's the same for Wehrmacht and Brits, well, we'll have to see. Now, an interesting thing that's happening with the Brits, they're placing down a mortar. This sort of negates the whole thing about this imbalances of the Wehrmacht on this map. Because by placing a mortar in such a strategic place like this, you can actually see this cone of effect. Oh god, what? Can you see it? Oh, there we go. Here we go. You can't see it on the mini-map, but you can see how the cone is on the actual map itself. You can see that it stretches right into the cover, alright? So that's where the Wehrmacht usually would be. The only cover that they could get is maybe around this area and not be shot by that mortar. But otherwise, if they try to get cover over here, the mortar will definitely penetrate them and kill them, and that'll be the end of their days, right? So I suppose the Brits sort of negate that imbalance to some extent anyway. But, what was I gonna say? Jeez, I had so much to explain. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, onto the map itself. Here we go. So this is what Wrecked Train actually looks like. There's multiple medium points. We've got MG just going down over here. We've got multiple medium points in the center, which is the munitions, and they've also got some low munitions points over here as well. On the flanking sides, on the left-hand, right-hand side, you've got these cutoff points, which lead over to some munition, from some fuel. On the right hand side you got a plus 10, on the left hand side you got a plus 5, so the right hand side is more important in that respect, right? So the important thing to take a note of is that there's cutoff points, okay? These cutoff points over here. If you can actually control them, then you can essentially limit the amount of fuel that your opponent gets. If you control them, then you get, obviously, the fuel. So by having MGs or something over there, again, with the imbalances of this map, that is Wehrmacht favorite. If you had MGs covering these points, you can essentially almost control the fuel points. So there you guys go. That's why people believe that the Wehrmacht have an advantage on this map. But obviously, you know, the whole thing with the mortar and stuff like that, blah, 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 yeah, blah, blah. You guys sort of get the whole gist of what's going on, right? Now, another unusual thing that's been going on, and this is the exact thing that I was trying to make a point of, with newbies, put down your notepads, because Kodachrome is so damn unusual. Look at what he's doing. He's capping with his MGs, and I think we should actually take a look at what he's producing. He's got 3 Pioneers. That in itself is not entirely unusual, okay? Some people actually go for 3 Pioneers. Usually they stop at 2. But what's unusual is that we had a quadruple amount of MGs being produced. 4 MGs! One of them was already killed, okay? That is... I don't know how else to put it. That's a very unrecommended strategy. It's not balanced at all for the later game. So, I suppose in the early game you can suppress guys very, very easily. You can cover from multiple fronts and you could lock the Brit in their HQ. I suppose on that front, why not? But elsewise, the MGs are not normally meant to cap. The only reason they're capping is because he has so many of them out on the field that, hell, he needs to cap with them anyway. I suppose 3 Pioneers are still going to be doing a good job of capturing territory, even if the MG didn't exist. Even if the MGs didn't exist, but for whatever reason, you know, there's Pioneers and MGs out on the field, and they're capping, and it definitely complements the unusual style of Kodachrome. So for MGs, I don't even know what that's going to lead up to next. The only thing I could imagine that it would lead up to next is probably T2 Krieg Barracks. The reason I say that is because with so many MGs, you're going to be so good at anti-infantry. But say if the Brits manage to have a steady fuel supply, they could easily get a Steward, for example, and MGs are not going to do anything against Stewards. So the next best thing that you could probably do is go up to T2 Krieg Barracks, get Grenadiers with Panzerschrecks. Likewise, you could also get a pack out to counter it, and that's the only thing that I could imagine. Now, we've actually got something very nicely placed down by BodhiDharma. He's actually put down a bunker over here, a medic bunker, which is actually picking up the wounded, the dead, that the from Pioneers and MGs, for example. Whoa, how the hell did he just stop? What? He didn't even go the full distance and it counted as a full man in there. Well, that's very strange. I mean, it was at a quarter of its being, whatever, its amount, and he was only over there, he stopped, and somehow it was delivered all the way, magically transported, whatever. I suppose that can happen, and I think it must have been a glitch or something. Maybe the pack was in the way. But by having this medic bunker over here, you can pick up the wounded, and eventually it will be turned into free grenadiers, which will help in terms of anti-tank capability. Another thing that complements BodhiDharma's build order and just unusualness, Goliaths. How many times do we see Goliaths in a game? Honestly, this early into a game as well. I mean, most people, when they would spend Goliaths, or Goliaths would be later in the game, if they had a choice with their munitions, what they would probably do is use it for Panzerschrecks or MP40s, maybe flamethrowers, something like that, right? That's what they usually do. But still, spending 125 ammunition for a Goliath so early into the game, it's just so damn unusual, but that's Kodachrome. He still somehow makes it work. Now, what he's actually doing, because he knows that there's no targets at the moment, what he's going to do is actually park it over here and try to kill somebody who gets over into the base. But, oh my god, IronRoman being such a smart player. Wow, very lucky. Actually taking out that Goliath before it was able to destroy the rest of that infantry section. It had literally one man with a sliver of health. Easily could have been killed. Now, this pack was actually captured by the Brits, but previously, just before capturing it, that pack managed to destroy the mortar over the mortar emplacement over by the Brits. So the Brits have already lost a casualty clearing center that was in construction. They lost a mortar emplacement, but at the cost of a Goliath. Alright, a Goliath went down. That's 125 munitions. That is a whole lot. BodhiDharma has actually gone up to the urban assault support, so he's gone from his infantry assault and then over to his urban assault. That means he's gone for a blitzkrieg doctrine. Oh my god, 10 minutes into the game, 10.5 minutes. Wow, I've really been speaking for, well, it seems like not that long, but apparently it's been longer than that. But he's already got a stew out on the field. A stew is out on the field, wrecking havoc on these guys, tearing up some ass and taking some names apparently, right? Being a tough guy. So let's actually go over to IronRoman and give him a little bit of love just to see what the Brit is up to. Now, IronRoman, he's actually getting torn apart by this MG and this stew at the moment, so I have absolutely no idea what he's going to do. This Pied squad going down! That was very important. That Pied squad was meant to be like the only counter against this stew at the moment, but without that Pied squad, what the hell is he going to do? I have no idea. Let's take a look at his arsenal at the moment. He is getting absolutely shredded apart. Look at all these guys, so badly damaged, so low on their health. If you go take a look, we've actually seen a Pied squad, so that means the field support truck is out somewhere. It's actually on this fuel. So HQ is on the munitions, field support on the fuel. Typical Brit strategy so far, and really nothing different from the Brits. They've been playing a very, very standard set strategy. We see this very commonly used in Brit games with the mortar and stuff like that, and then going on up to the field support truck and stuff like that. So quite standard. So I'd actually like to see how IronRoman is going to handle this unusual strategy by Kodachrome. Just Goliaths and MG spam, and then straight on up to a stew and a pack to support. You know, usually this strategy, you wouldn't really come up with it, but when you actually think about it, from my perspective, and with a little bit of experience, from my perspective, it's actually a strategy that could work, alright? Because you have anti-infantry capability through the stew, through the multiple MGs, you have good capping power with the multiple pioneers. You've also got AT support with packs, and also possibly through a grenadier squad. I believe one is almost produced, but almost produced. So if there was another guy in there, they could have gotten free grenadier squad, and that'd be even more AT, right? More anti-tank. Stew going down because we've got a Churchill just out, so that means that we've got actually the Brits going for the Royal Engineer support. Their HQ was actually managed to taken out by that stew just before it died from that Churchill. So the Churchill's out because I believe the Brits must have been really desperate. They lost a Pied squad. A Stuart isn't going to do that much damage. Maybe he'll do a little bit from the back armor, but not really much. It's going to take a long time. And so the best thing I suppose the Brits could do is probably go for a quick Churchill. So they've gone for the Royal Engineer support, I believe, going down along the right hand side, where if they keep on going down that way, they can get a AVRE, then a Crocodile and stuff like that. if they choose to go down left-hand side, they also get many passive upgrades. I believe I talked about this in maybe the last cast or maybe the one before that, about just how awesome the upgrades, the passive upgrades for the Royal Engineers is. You really get a whole plethora of nice and neat stuff that will help in the long run. For example, you get improved emplacements. They survive a whole lot better. I believe they get something like an extra 50% survivability. You guys also get hull down, which makes your tanks immobile, but they are damn harder to kill. I think it's like 25% hard to kill or something, to that notion. Maybe I'm a bit off, I'm not sure, but it's something around that area, and it helps your tanks survive a lot more than they normally would. Also, they get upgrades with their trucks, their buses, for example, which makes them better at gaining resources from the territories that in. They also get passive bonuses for extra pop cap and extra munitions and stuff like that. It really is just an awesome doctrine to go for, and I think highly underused. I think the reason that people don't go for it is because the Churchills are so damn expensive. 600 manpower for a faction that really already has to suffer so much in terms of how much their units cost with manpower. You know, it is a tough choice, but I suppose there are pros and cons. The passive bonuses are definitely nice. Stuart taking quite a bit of damage from these stormtroopers with the Panzerschrecks. Still got to be a bit careful, because we know that the Churchill can easily call down a tank shock, effectively immobilizing these guys and preventing them from taking out anything. But lucky for them, they were actually managed to take out that Stuart before anything happened. Now we've got all these guys retreating because we've got this tank shock, I believe, might be coming down and suppressing these guys, gonna try to crush them. And instead, the stormtroopers over here separating themselves out like good gentlemen, rather than throwing themselves into the treads like most sacrificial units. They actually managed to separate. That's how it should always be. That's literally how it should always be, unless you have the speed advantage or something of your tank or something like that. But these guys being smart and actually getting out of the way, trying to take out this Churchill as best as they possibly can. Can they do it? With shots like that, they definitely can't. That was an absolutely horrible shot. I think they must have been aiming for like one of the infantry or something like that. A side armor shot would be very nice. There we go. One more shot could actually take out that Churchill. But, well, we have some rifle grenades. Rifle grenades are very inaccurate. Very inaccurate weapons. However, they can do quite a bit of damage when they hit. They do explosive damage, so you can bet they'll do multiple damage to multiple men. Oh god, that guy was literally running miles there on fire. I feel the pain for him. Absolutely horrible. Recon squad killing that stormtrooper squad just as it was trying to get the last shot out on that Churchill, failing multiple times to actually finish off that Churchill. Oh well, eh? We've got a bundle grenade coming down, and boom, killing just a few guys. Lucky they were on retreat, that they got an extra bonus in survivability there. Very lucky. But come on, stormtroopers. I'd like to see you guys get in. Not from that range. You need to uncloak yourselves and speed on up. Run over to that Churchill and take it out. I'd really like to see them do that at the moment, but gotta see what happens. I mean, come on, they're landing a few shots here and there, but it's just dinging off the front. What a horrible situation to be in. Just so damn close. So damn close. Look at that again. Again, just dinged. Refusal. Refusal yet again. Like 3 or 4 times in a row there. A refusal to die. Feeling quite sorry for these Wehrmacht at the moment, because they are really fighting just as best as they can. Finally taking out that Churchill. Finally taken out, but one man left in the squad. I'd really like to see Kodachrome get out of there, but no, he's not. I believe he must have been like microwink elsewhere on the map, but that is really unfortunate, because he lost something like 2 stormtrooper squads in this entire engagement just trying to take on this Churchill. How damn unfortunate. How damn unfortunate. So over on the right hand side, we've just got a Pioneer apparently with an MG, just capping away. I need to take a drink of water. Who is just oh god, I've lost my voice on the in the middle of the cast. This is absolutely horrible. Hopefully that'll be okay. Right, so here we go. Another stew is out on the field. So I think the Brits are definitely a little bit on edge right now. Okay, they managed to take out quite a few guys. However, there's these super vehicles and units coming out. I mean, Stews, for example, are good against infantry and will do a lot of damage, as you guys can see. However, the Brits are hanging on in there. Okay, they have managed to kill quite a lot of the Wehrmacht's forces, but it's still really down to about a tie. I have no clue who's going to win this, guys. Look at the VPs. 97 points left for the Brits at the moment. 500 for the Wehrmacht. So the Wehrmacht are winning so easily. Kodachrome is really heavily in the lead with the VPs. I mean, he's got 2 in his hands right now. He's got actually 3 in his hands at the moment. So he is definitely winning this. He's trying to go for a VP win, but what I'd really like to see is some better unit survivability, some better unit preservation. This is the funny thing that I mentioned, that I saw in that last cast that I done of BodhiDharma, is that he done such unusual stuff. It's like he believes that his guys have God mode or some sort of invincibility. It's just, he'll rush into a mass of like tanks, for example, with like half-man squads and just try to do as much damage as he possibly can. Sometimes retreating, sometimes not. Sometimes he'll just like, it seems like purposely lose them. I have absolutely no idea, but that's his playstyle, and somehow it seems to work, right? Even though he's losing all these units, he's lost 2 stews. He's also lost 2 stormtroopers, which these are heavy casualties. He just lost another stormtrooper squad, and he lost a pioneer and all that sort of stuff, MGs throughout the game. So you just gotta wonder, how the hell does a guy like this actually stay in the game and be so successful? Well, I think just constantly putting the pressure on. You know, he might play very strangely, but he's constantly putting the pressure on, fighting the Brit at his base, and just trying to nail him in there. Now, what BodhiDharma is actually doing is, well, he doesn't have that much out on the field. In fact, he's always got is literally one, oh god, one pioneer who's manned an MG. So he's lost every single one of his MGs except this one that he's picked up from a pioneer squad. And all he's got left is a tiger. Oh my god, a tiger. Holy crap. Oh jeez, a tiger. So that is literally all he has left to take on the Brits at the moment. And in fact, we've actually got a stag count down here. So did the pioneer get taken out? I have no idea where he is. In fact, he's just going over there, okay, and trying to take out the MG. That's BodhiDharma for you. He's just 1 in a million, I suppose you could say. Actually, probably 1 in a billion, because if there's still a million, then there's still 1,000 people out there like him, or something like that. You know, 6,000 maybe, maybe 1,000. I don't know. I don't want to do the quick math in my head. But anyway, he's 1 in a billion. So a tiger over here trying to do as much as it possibly can, but already almost down to half health, crushing these guys like nothing, as if they were paper, just nothing. And this pack is trying to take it out somehow, but that cart, that wrecked cart that's overturned is just in his way. He can't do that, but now turning it around, can he actually destroy it? I have absolutely no idea. A stag count coming up from behind, but, you know, is a stag count really going to do that much? I have absolutely no clue. Now, since the stag count is out, what that means is we've actually got a tank depot, or armored command truck, sorry, out for the Brits. And that means he could produce Sherman fireflies. These could be used to take on the Tiger effectively. Likewise, Piats from the field support truck could be good. Maybe also buttoning with some Bren guns could work, you know, stuff like that, right? That could definitely work as well. But we've also got these infantry with a Panzerschreck on them, so they actually picked it up from what that first Stormtrooper squad that died. And so they're doing as much damage as they possibly can to the Tiger. Sherman Firefly out, and that's exactly what I meant. By having the armored command truck out, they could produce Sherman Fireflies, and that's exactly what they need to take on this Tiger, which is very badly damaged. Very expensive to call out as well. 800. Oh my god, what was that? What was that? I have absolutely no clue. What? I wasn't even paying attention to that. What that could have been. Was that a... Oh my god, was that a Goliath? I have absolutely no idea. I wasn't even paying attention. You guys could probably just easily take a look at that. You're probably screaming at me, just telling me how obvious that was, but I wasn't even paying attention. I was paying attention at the health of the Tiger. Maybe that was a Goliath. It was a huge explosion, so very close to actually take out the infantry section, but they didn't manage to do that. Another Pioneer is out, and that is all BodhiDharma has. Just a single Pioneer squad that he's fighting, even though he's just lost it. He's kept on fighting, and you know, this is the hilarious thing about BodhiDharma. He just keeps on fighting even though he's losing all these guys. Such horrible unit preservation, but still 52 points left and nothing to work with. How unfortunate. He's saving for a Tiger because that's all he can do. He has literally no men at the moment. None. Nada. Zip. Zilch. Whilst the Brits has a whole ton of stuff. Now, we probably got another Tiger coming out, and yes, we do. Another Tiger's out by BodhiDharma. What I'd actually like to see is him be He could actually make a comeback. Considering that he still has so much VPs left and he has a Tiger on the field, he could make a comeback. What I would do if I was in his position is build or spam actually loads of Pioneers right now. What I do is spam loads and loads, because they're only like, what, 120 manpower each or something like that for a Pioneer squad. So spam quite a few, maybe spam 3, 4, or maybe even 5, so you can easily repair the Tiger. Bring it in, do some damage, bring it back, get it repaired, get maybe 2 Pioneers to go cap, put some flamethrowers on them to act as more anti-infantry, to take out packs and stuff like that, and then it could definitely work. It could be a strategy that would work, but, you know, I don't know. BodhiDharma plays very unconventionally. I mean, most people, if they were in this position right now, this situation, they would have reversed and gotten out of there before their Tiger would get destroyed. Instead, what he is doing is circumnavigating amongst the wrecks, moving forward, circumnavigating amongst the wrecks, crushing over the wreck, and just trying to stay alive as long as he can with his Tiger. That's literally all he's doing. I guess IronRoman must have given up because he's not doing anything with his pack, or maybe the glitch or something. But there we go. Oh my god, a Goliath is chasing these guys! Oh, killing them entirely! That would look like the only anti-tank for IronRoman at the moment, to try and even take on this Tiger, but now there's nothing, and a retreating infantry section just getting itself reinforced. You can see all those numbers coming up, but man, the Tiger, I think he's trying to go in for that recon squad, maybe to try and kill them. Oh, but what is this? Sherman Firefly just coming out from the armored command truck. How unfortunate, because this Tiger really has free roam at the moment. Let's switch on over to, actually no, we are on IronRoman. All he has is that recon squad. He's got a Sherman Firefly and a very, very badly damaged stag hound. That is literally all he has. Now the Tiger is very afraid, because I'm not sure how he's going to compete against a Sherman Firefly with this little health. If you had full health, no problem. If you had half health, maybe. But right now, it's probably not going to happen. Main gun destroyed, that's it. That is literally all that's going to happen. Tiger is just reversing, delaying the inevitable. We have a stew just coming out. Even though most people, maybe what they would have done is produce loads of Pioneers, spam Pioneers, BodhiDharma going for a stew. For what reason, I have absolutely no idea. He should have been anticipating another Sherman Firefly coming out, but it's BodhiDharma, so just go with it, right? So now he's actually going around the wrecks yet again, playing footsie with the Sherman Firefly, and now just trying to get away as best as he possibly can. Staghound doing something, nothing really. I mean, his main gun is destroyed. The only thing that's firing is that wheat turret on top, and now he's chasing down the recon section. This is really becoming sort of like a playground, a sort of cat and mouse game. It's not even the conventional sort of style we see with Company of Heroes, where two sides are versing each other, going in waves and trying to outmaneuver each other. No, it's just a whole level of silliness now. It's just BodhiDharma playing and fooling around with the Brit, destroying his staghound with his stew, and now his stew is just retreating, falling back as fast as it possibly can. The Brits is very low on their manpower at the moment. Maybe they're producing something. I believe, yeah, they are producing something from the armored command truck. And what do we have for the Wehrmacht? Nothing. The Wehrmacht is just retreating. They're falling back, just running away as fast as possible, because the Sherman Firefly is in hot pursuit. Literally, it's like Need for Speed hot pursuit. They're like chasing after the stew as best as they can, as fast as possible. But the stew is trying to just delay the inevitable. It doesn't want to get attacked. It wants to delay the Sherman Firefly from destroying his base, and instead make him chase his stew. And that gives him time to get more manpower and just bring out more units out into the field. So BodhiDharma actually has a Pioneer out. So whoa, that is unusual. I thought he would have gone for another stew, or maybe something very unusual like a sniper or something. I have no idea. I'm just being a bit cheeky, but still, BodhiDharma, very, very strange. 52 points left. I mean, he had this so damn close. If he didn't lose all those guys, he could easily have won this by now. But instead, it's just his playstyle, as I keep on stressing, his playstyle. Oh, no, no, no. 2 Sherman Fireflies are out. Destroyed engine. He is not going to be going anywhere anytime fast. Main gun destroyed. Even though he shot from the back armor, somehow the main gun was destroyed. I have absolutely no idea how that can happen, but apparently it can. It's Company of Heroes, so why not? There we go. Stu going out, and now the 800 manpower just being reached. It's most likely a Tiger again. 3rd Tiger out, coming out from Kodachrome. Man. these are moments that really leaves you speechless as a commentator, because you have to wonder, and now this is the point I was trying to make earlier on, how the hell does a guy like BodhiDharma get to level 14? I mean, I think the highest position he's ever been was like level 15. So if he can do this, play so unconventionally and get to level 14 or 15, you have to actually imagine that anyone could get to level 15. I mean, is it really that hard if you play like this? If you do such stupid things and they still somehow work? I guess so, eh? So Tiger just over here, just almost taking out the Sherman Firefly. One more shot could have destroyed it. And a Goliath. A Goliath. Oh my gosh. Huge damage to that Sherman Firefly. Wow. I knew Goliaths could do a lot of damage to tanks, but I didn't imagine that much. I mean, that would look like 2/3 of its health gone. And that has definitely leveled the playing field for this Tiger, making the job a lot easier than it would have been otherwise from a full health Sherman Firefly. Oh my god, the reload being so faster for the Tiger than the Sherman Firefly, managing to destroy it. So literally, all we have left for the Brits is nothing. All they have is a stag hound and some infantry, and that's it. Now we've got free roam yet again with this Tiger just destroying the base of the Brit. So this looks like what happened just probably 20 minutes ago. Yet again, the Brit base getting destroyed and nothing to defend it. Something again being produced from the armored command truck. Probably another Sherman Firefly, I imagine. Yes, it is. And that could be definitely what he needs to take on and finish this Tiger at the moment. Kodachrome, how much manpower does he have? Not much. He's actually called out another stew. So this seems to be some sort of typical strategy with Kodachrome. Tiger and stew combination. I have no idea what the reasoning behind it is. I mean, Tiger's good at destroying everything, but stew is mostly used against finishing a sliver of health on vehicles, but mostly it's used against infantry and destroying buildings. That's pretty much it. So I have no idea what this sort of combination of the stew and a Tiger is supposed to mean, but I don't know. Just watch it. Okay. Tiger moving in after destroying that HQ. Now he's actually moving in towards the main sector of the Brits. Maybe he's trying to meet the HQ again or destroy the Vickers emplacements. Maybe that's what he's trying to do. But Sherman Firefly just on the heels, on the back of that Tiger. He's probably going to be finishing off in just a second here. Where's that stew? What happened to it? Stew's just up there making its way. So it's been tank battles for like literally the last, I don't know, 8 minutes or something, 10 minutes. The same tanks, stag hounds, Sherman Fireflies, Tigers, and stews. And still, Kodachrome is just playing around the Brit, moving in between buildings, moving back and stuff. Trying to stay alive as long as he possibly can, and trying to destroy the enemy as best as he can as well. Really close on taking out that stag hound. I wish he could actually do that. The stew is over here, and maybe it's going to meet that stag hound in some ways. Oh my gosh, no, the Tiger's gone. The Tiger is gone. So, instead of another Tiger being produced, we've actually got a Stormtrooper squad being made by BodhiDharma. Now, after all of this going on, he's got a Pioneer squad. Okay, that's good. So he's been capping. So whilst all of this has been going on, he's been capping away with a Pioneer squad, trying to win this by VPs, but still there's a recon section on the field, which means it's going to be capping quite fast, and capping a whole lot faster these VPs. Really close. The Wehrmacht could easily win this by VPs 52 earlier. They could have won it earlier, but I mean, it's a bit late now. It is a bit late now. When they have next to nothing left. 130 left for the Wehrmacht. And the points are just ticking away here. They really are just ticking away. But still, just fighting with one man, that's all you can do, and being taken out. So I think if there's one general thing we can say about Kodachrome, is the unit preservation was definitely not there. I think what he definitely needs to learn is perhaps retreat his units maybe 3 seconds earlier. I think even a few seconds earlier could definitely mean that they would have survived. So there we go, guys. I mean, that's it. BodhiDharma gave up. He had nothing left. Maybe just a Pioneer squad, just one man in the Pioneer squad, and that was it. Against a few tanks, Staghound, Recon, Cromwell, and Sherman Firefly. So nothing left there. So we pretty much already summarized where the Wehrmacht went wrong. They were doing a lot of stuff right in the beginning. That is a very unusual strategy of the MGs and stuff like that. But apparently it works. There you guys go, right? But it started falling apart because of the unit preservation. Having no units out in the end just meant the end of Kodachrome. But still, somehow, I wonder what the rest of his games are like, that he can still manage to get to level 14 and possibly 15. Wow. Man. Fair enough. Anyway, well done to the Brit faction winning that, actually managing to finish off all the squads of Kodachrome. And I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. Very unusual. Maybe you'll get some tips out of it. I'm not exactly sure. I wasn't exactly recommending it, but maybe you could have. But there you guys go. Anyway, hope you all had a nice day. And of course, until next cast, see you all later. Bye-bye.